Shane, Shane, Shane. Shane, 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 Shane. A-L-A-N, Allen. A-L-A-N, Allen. Allen, 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 Allen.
Hey, it's the 38th Parallel, episode 48. I am Shane the Hoppitarian, and I'm very happy to have my lifelong best friend, unless, of course, we decide to have a big-time falling out. The host of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. It's Alan to the motherfucking Mosley. How are you doing, sir?
Can you believe it? The furious comeback by UNC, time free throw, wiped out by a lane violation. Duke advances in the semifinals. Your thoughts?
Yeah. That's right, Michael Jordan. Suck on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure wherever he is, he's devastated.
At least it's not Magic Johnson, if you know what I'm saying.
This is...
Yeah, we're already off the rails.
Yeah, that's not what I was wanting at all. I should have went with football. I chose college basketball. Damn it. It's college my fault.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
I know.
Who's playing? I don't know.
Cooper Cup to the Seahawks.
Whoa, that's going to... Oh, man, first place in the NFC West. Here we come.
Well, I mean, there ain't nobody else in that division to worry about. So, my bad. The Rams. Yeah. The Rams are good. So Yeah.
Colin Cowherd said they're going to be third place, the 49ers. I'm like, that sounds pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Third. So what is he saying? Is he saying Rams Seahawks, or is he saying Cardinals? I don't remember
first two, but I'm pretty sure it was Niners and then Cardinals last. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it would have to be Rams because the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Seahawks did get Sam Darnold, but
Ooh.
No.
I know, right? Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying that it's not like they're going to be starting a rookie or something next year, but. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Seahawks are done" because they let Geno go and they let DK Metcalf go, but then they turned around and signed a receiver and signed Sam. So I'm just saying maybe the Seahawks had a plan.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I think Sam Darnold probably is better than Geno, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if Cooper Kupp is better than DK Metcalf, but I know that he's not a fucking bitch like DK Metcalf. So there's there is that aspect. It's a locker room thing,
Right.
So
I mean that's probably one of the reasons why they got rid of Deebo Samuel. The 49ers got rid of Deebo Samuel, and I don't know if you know this, but the biggest move that they've done, because I know everybody wants to know about football here, because I know that's what everyone here is waiting for us to talk about. But the 49ers got rid of their long snapper. Oh man,
I saw that. Where don't you have that ready to pull up here? I thought that's what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, it's over.
I'll be honest. I don't know. Who did you say said the 49ers were going to be third?
Good old Colin Cowherd.
Oh yeah, Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
He's kind of hit or miss to me. But. I don't know if I put them third behind the Seahawks when the Seahawks are going into the season completely retooled. And Sam Darnold, I want Sam Darnold to do well, but the end of last season was the real Sam Darnold, and now he doesn't have Justin Jefferson to throw to. So Sam Darnold ain't going to look as good this year as he did last year. So I don't know if I drop the 49ers to third place in that division. Now the Rams might be good.
Yeah.
If Stafford is, let's just say, equally as good next year as he was this year, but they don't start the season 0-5 or whatever ridiculous record it was, 2-5, and then they went 5-2 immediately after that, then I could see the Rams being good. But the Seahawks, I don't know. I mean, I think the Cardinals could be better than the Seahawks. I'm serious. I think Kyler Murray's better than.
Have they signed anybody in free agency so far? I don't think so. They're laying low. Yeah, they're laying low.
Yeah, well, they're just biding their time. And what's the story like? Is McCaffrey even playing anymore? Is he still a 49er, or what's the?
I mean, yeah, he's still a 49er, but he's probably injured now, and he's gonna have a kid, so there's that, and I've got that to worry about.
Well, that means he needs to make more money, so he's got to keep playing.
So you know what that means? The 49ers need to trade him.
Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
One of my biggest criticisms of the Titans a few years ago was after the season where there was the season where they should have beat the Chiefs in the AFC title game.
Niners and Titans, yeah.
And then the following year,
Damn it.
they were actually the number 1 seed despite leading the league in injuries. And then they flamed out in the playoffs, mostly because of Ryan Tannehill being bad. When it was clear that like they had peaked and now they were coming down and Tannehill was only getting worse, that was when they should have traded Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry was already like the whole team was coming off of a peak. Yeah. But it's like, man, you could have traded Derrick Henry there, and you would still got a lot for him.
Yeah, could have gotten like a couple of first rounders at least, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, because my thing is like as bad as Tannehill was at the end, you actually could have just held on to Tannehill for another year or two, and then drafted a quarterback and started over. But they could have started the process like all the way back in like 2022. Well, I mean, or 21. At this point, they'd be coming out of it. They'd be like have done their rebuild, as opposed to just starting their rebuild and having just finished as the league's worst team and all this stuff. So that's so I mean, there's that was an opportunity that passed them by. Whereas like a team like the 49ers, like it's not that bad because they were literally 2 years ago they were in the Super Bowl. And then last year, of course, it was the injuries. They spent a bunch of money on players who then immediately got injured.
Yeah.
So I think with them, factors. Yeah, I mean they just have to, if they decide that it's time to kind of rebuild and let a few people go, like a McCaffrey, like a Deebo Samuel, like that's fine. You can do that, but it's not like they're completely blowing things up because they are re-signing their quarterback who's only like Brock Purdy's still only like what 25 years old or something.
I mean, they did just get Mac Jones. He's going to be the backup, but their new quarterback coach is Mick Lombardi, who was with him during his rookie season. Mac. Mm-hmm. So he's a little familiar with him. So I don't know.
Mac Jones is very similar to Brock Purdy without any talent or success.
Can he do the gritty?
They're all pretty white over there. San Francisco is a relatively whitish team. So I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I follow some Niners content creators and they're like, I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on, but I think some of these coaches don't like black people. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Don't like black people. The whole fucking team is black. What are you talking about? I don't like
what coaching staff in the National Football League are racist, not liking black people?
I don't want a black quarterback. I want a white as fuck. I want a white as snow quarterback like Brock Purdy, Mac Jones. Like, okay. I mean, I get they. Yeah, and then they traded 3 first-round draft picks, and they're still feeling that effect of the Trey Lance debacle. Retarded. Yeah. Absolutely retarded. One of the worst trades of all time.
I mean, the Mac Jones thing is the same thing as Daniel Jones going to Indianapolis. It's like, if you look at it from their perspective, you're like, well, that dude sucks. Why would they sign him even to a 1-year deal? And the answer is that, well, They need another quarterback in the room in going into the preseason, going into free agency. They needed another guy, and if you could pick some random journeyman where exactly what they are and they're never going to be a starter anywhere in the NFL, or you could at least get a guy that just a few years ago was a draft pick, and you could be like, well, look, the Giants are terrible. So, if we're not terrible and Daniel Jones is even 10% better,
Yeah.
That's still better than us going and getting like you think of all the backups
mean,
that are
it's
just
cheaper.
in the league forever, like Trevor Siemian and
Oh yeah.
you just think of the guys that like they've been on 15 teams and
Jacoby Brissett.
yeah, Brissett
Yeah,
Brissett
yeah.
will be fucking playing somewhere this
Yeah,
year, man.
yeah,
Like so it's like you might as well get a younger guy who's only a few years removed from being like a top third of the draft pick who's healthy, like those guys are healthy, so there's at least that. I mean, I don't think Mac Jones is good, but I think that he's better than all of those random backup QBs that you see floating around.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but as far as what it was last year for the 49ers, better than Brandon Allen. He played in the Packers game. That was like one of the worst games I've ever seen. As a fan, I was like, geez, what the fuck?
It's because they should have played Josh Dobbs. That's why.
They should have played Josh Dobbs the last game of the season, and he did pretty well. Like he did okay. It's just
if you have Josh Dobbs playing for 2 months,
I told
there's
you,
lots
of
of problems.
Black people. I want Brandon Allen, the white guy, over that black whatever. He's third string.
Yeah. Josh Dobbs, who's like the whitest black dude who's ever lived.
He's like a literal rocket scientist.
Yeah. Astro Dobbs. Yeah. Well, I mean, just the fact that Dobbs like had a rapport with members of the receiving corps and had played games recently, had played games last year. Is a good athlete, if nothing else. He's a decent sized dude. Again, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, look, no one's going to the playoffs and like beating the Chiefs with their backups. No one is. So if you're at a point in your year where it's like, look, it's over. We're not going to win the division. We got, 6 games left. You just play Josh Dobbs. Like,
yeah,
that's why he's on the team, right? Why are you paying him? Like, what's he even here? I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, obviously with Dak Prescott coming back, it doesn't really matter what anybody does,
right?
Didn't
you just get a new long snapper over there?
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Is Dak still the highest? I think he is technically still the highest paid quarterback. Because Josh Allen got more guaranteed money, but he's getting less total millions per year. He's still not. The guy who just won MVP and can actually play 17 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
that guy is still getting paid less money than Dak fucking Prescott.
Yeah,
and good, he hasn't earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. No, he has not.
Who else hasn't earned it?
Well, I mean, I was gonna gradually, because when we're out of the sports talk section of this show, I was gonna go from, kind of a small thing to the end. We're gonna go big. We're gonna go real big to the big topic that everyone's been talking about on social media. Okay, so I wanted to show this one, and I know you shared this, and I've seen it too. And it's one of the funniest stories that I've ever seen in my life. So here's this story. Columbia University human rights fellow convicted for having a slave. Yes, that is true.
I saw that shared on a meme page and then had to Google it just to see. And the article I saw was from the BBC that actually this is real.
Yeah.
This fucking bitch who was on the UN Rights Council and all this shit.
Yeah.
got convicted for slavery in fucking current year.
Hey, look at
My
the side
God.
there. Tiger Woods reportedly dating former member of Donald Trump's family. Oh shit.
Former member of a family. There's the only.
I actually looked into it. It was I think it was Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife. Like one of, I don't know how many. I didn't. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, so going into this, a British jury convicted United Nations Judge Lydia Mugambe on Thursday of forcing a Ugandan woman into domestic servitude after luring her to the UK under false pretenses. Mugambe, who also serves as a high court judge in Uganda, brought the victim to Britain under the guise of securing her a job in a diplomatic household, only to make her work as an unpaid maid and nanny. She confiscated the victim's passport and visa, leaving her trapped until she was able to contact a friend who alerted authorities. So there you go.
It's just so chef's kiss that specific person is the person that got convicted of slavery.
Oh, 49-year-old judge. Speaking of 49.
I'm going to let that go. Yeah, I mean, who knew it was that easy to engage in slavery at this point?
Oh, so further in this article, Mugambe leveraged her connections within the Ugandan High Commission in London to secure a visa for the victim, presenting it as an official employment opportunity, according to court testimony. Instead of placing the woman in a diplomatic household, however, Mugambe brought her to her private residence and forced her to work without pay.
Yeah.
And she has denied all charges. She is scheduled for sentencing May 2nd. So there you go.
I'm not sure. I mean, there was a trial, so I don't know what denying all charges does for you. Because I could sit here and deny all charges, but it's like, okay, but what's the defense then? Like, okay, so who is this woman and why is she in your house, like, cooking and cleaning and doesn't have any money and doesn't have any, like, identification and, isn't allowed to leave? I mean, at a bare minimum, that's like kidnapping, right?
I mean, you would think so, yeah.
I don't know. I feel I will admit that, like if you had that same story, but it was some random dude down the street here and some woman, you'd be like, oh, that's like kidnapping, because they're taken and they're not allowed to leave. Slavery is quite a an accusation.
It's because this woman is a United Nations judge, so she's very high and important.
Yeah, I did see the part where apparently they had statements from her when she was being apprehended, of her basically saying that she has immunity. You can't arrest me because I'm this person, and I'm like,
wow,
immunity to what?
The audacity of this bitch.
Immunity for what? What are you saying?
I guess to force people into slavery. Who does she think she is? A United Nations judge?
But but again, it's like it wasn't some random old white man. No,
right?
No. You gotta be watching this week's episode to see the absolute perfection of who the modern slaver is. Well, I mean, it's the same thing as people talk about all that stuff about how after Hillary Clinton ruined Libya, they brought back open air slave markets.
Right.
It's like, okay, you keep on hearing that phrase being thrown around, but it's like, but what does that mean? Well, what it means is that slavery exists and they're openly buying and selling them. It's not like the black market. They're just doing it out in the open and it's accepted and it's not being policed. That's what an open air slave market is. But the second thing is who's doing all the buying and the selling? Because I have a weird feeling that it's not like British imperialists that are doing the buying and the selling of the slaves. Who's doing the buy? They leave that part out. Oh, oh my God, there's open air slave markets in Libya. Well, who? I mean, how could that be if no one would dare buy or sell a slave? Then how could the market, stay in business? Who are these people going to the market and buying and selling them? I bet they don't. Look like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Or they don't look like that either, you guys.
Yeah, they don't look like that way.
Yeah, you're looking at Nico. No, they don't look. No, that's exactly what they look like. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yep.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah. That's why she won't be on the show anymore.
Well, I don't know if this relates or anything, but here's
You like
the next.
me doing ads for Pepsi during the.
I should have had a Coke. I got a Coke. Haha.
I kind of like Coke more. I just
Yeah.
I had this in the fridge,
Just had that,
so
yeah. Did you make that?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
If by make it you mean throw it down the stairs, yeah. This show's gotten really weird.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm enjoying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other people that are watching. They're probably like, ugh. Anyway,
You,
so the
you
next,
couldn't hear it. You couldn't
I
hear
did
it.
actually. I heard.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the next one, again, this is before the main event. This is a great story because you shared it to me. Pro Israel
That's what
group
makes it great.
says it has deportation lists and has sent thousands of names to Trump officials. I'm going to read on here. A far-right group that claimed credit for the arrest of a Palestinian activist and permanent U.S. resident who the Trump administration is seeking to deport claims it has submitted thousands of names for similar treatment. Batar U.S. is one of a number of right-wing pro-Israel groups that are supporting the administration's efforts to deport international students involved in university pro-Palestinian protests, an effort that escalated this week with the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, an activist who recently completed his graduate studies at Columbia University. Wait, hold on a second. Columbia University human rights fellow convicted of having an activist who recently completed his graduate studies at Columbia. What the fuck is going on over there at Columbia University? My goodness.
I mean, so first of all, are you guys going to come visit me in the Sudan when I get deported?
I mean, if the flights are cheap, yeah.
That's good. I mean, how much can a flight really be to a place like that? I guess probably a lot. I don't know. I don't know how many people go there.
Yeah. Oh, look.
I'll look that up. But yeah, apparently I'm going to be living off the coast of Africa pretty soon because they've got the lists.
Better, which has been labeled an extremist group by the Anti-Defamation League, a Jewish advocacy group, said on Monday they had been working on deportations and will continue to do so, and warned that the effort would extend beyond immigrants. Expect naturalized citizens to start being picked up within the month, the group's post on X read. It is very difficult to revoke U.S. citizenship, though Trump has indicated an intention to try. Well, I mean, the ADL has them labeled as an extremist group, so you can definitely take them seriously.
Apparently, most places are saying that Sudan is risk level 1. Do not fly.
Oh well, I guess
they got some kind of fight going on between the government and militant forces.
What?
So, yeah.
What?
I don't know. Which, if
Who
that's
would've
true,
thought?
then, well, I know that like the Trump administration in Israel is shopping around like right. So that now they've moved on to like East Africa, and they're trying to figure out like, hey, who would be interested in taking in the Palestinians? And it's like, well, so first of all, I don't think you asked the Palestinians that.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them said, "Can I please go, to the Congo? That'd be neat."
Take me to Niger.
Yeah. And then second of all, as Daryl Cooper has already suggested, and fans of history will get this, why not Madagascar? Because that was a pretty good idea the first time someone suggested it. Just,
Yeah.
just saying. I don't know. Maybe they'll send me to Madagascar instead of Sudan. Can we do that at least? Can we go to Madagascar?
They have some lemurs there. You can hang out with some lemurs,
You can hang out with lemurs with me in May. You don't even have to.
Oh well.
It's a lot cheaper, by the way, to go to that than it is.
Madagascar.
You can take a flight right now that will include 2 stops and take a day. But by God, we can get to Madagascar. It'll only cost us $2,500.
Hell yeah, that sounds reasonable.
That's
Perfect.
nothing, dude.
Yeah, we could probably set up a GoFundMe to get that Sudan thing going for you, right?
And apparently Madagascar does not have a threat level 1 do not fly.
There you go.
Yeah, that's an important. Ironically, it costs more to get there.
Yeah,
but you won't die. So I don't know. You know,
sounds pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. According to this, it's worth visiting. Lots of diverse landscapes. No, landscapes.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not diverse people, but diverse landscapes. Diverse landscapes.
Yeah, like a pause before you said landscape, so I was like, uh-oh.
Actually, this actually just says that they do have a lot of cultural diversity because it's African, Asian, and European.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to need to see the data on that, though. To be honest with you,
Are they very strong on their their crime and their takedowns of crime, like Singapore, which is used as a prime example for that? You can be multicultural, but we're gonna fucking punish your ass if you do something even really bad. Oh, you have some chewing gum, you spit it out, cane.
Most people there are ages 15 to 64, but only like 10% more are than people who are ages 0 to 14. And ages 65 plus is 3.1% of the population. It's a pretty young country. Not a lot of old people hanging around.
Yeah.
Madagascar. So that's interesting. It's showing me all this like age stuff. I want to see the demographics. Is what I'm looking for. Yeah. For some reason, that's really hard to find. I don't know why that is. Their life expectancy used to be really low, but it's up to mid 60s now. That's not that bad.
Too bad. Yeah.
It was in the 40s in the 80s.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. There's an ethnicity section, but they don't have a chart like they do for every other section. Why are they What are they hiding? Why can't they just, Is
it like a 75% black and 15% white? Apparently,
there's a big community of Indians in Madagascar.
Oh shit! Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. There's also there's also Chinese immigrants.
Ooh, hey,
so they're trying desperately to like give everyone food and shelter. Yeah.
There you go, Chinese. There you go. To get that hot
why is this so hard to find?
This whole show's now going to be you looking for the demographics in Madagascar.
I just want to see percentages. That's all I'm saying. All right.
That is kind of
okay.
Weird. Did you find it?
Predominantly Malagasy. So
that's some like native, like some.
So native African islanders is 96%. See, they were trying to say it was super diverse. No, having like one of every type of people and then 10 million of the other. That's not diverse. That doesn't count.
We said they were Chinese immigrants. What we meant was they have 3.
So of the remaining 4%, that's broken down into French, Chinese, Makua, so some other type of islander, Indian. So actually not that diverse. That's just so those 2 different sites I read just flat out were a lie. That's just a lie. It's not true. If the United States were 96% like white Anglo-Saxon and 4% black, would that mean that the United States was incredibly diverse?
Very.
Wow. I would say no. But that's just me. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out where it is I'm going to be living here in the next 6 months because I got to be on those lists.
Probably, yeah.
I've said a few things.
I mean, you sent me you messaged me about your what was it, the little grid thing? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, they have a little alignment thing based on your tweets. Dude, I'm maximum chaos, maximum evil.
I mean, yeah, you're chaotic evil, lawful chaotic 100, good and evil 100. I'm guessing that means you're very evil and very chaotic.
Yeah. It's as
yeah.
evil and chaotic as you can be. I mean, it explained why. I felt like they were a little bit unfair. I don't think they understand. I'm just, this is all in Minecraft. Everything I'm saying is ironic. It's not.
Well,
Well,
I did it, and I was like in between. I was like in the bottom right, more on the chaotic evil side, and for me, it said that I display a strong inclination towards chaotic elements, as seen in their critical and irreverent take on political norms and figures. The humor and sarcasm in their tweets, particularly when discussing political figures and scenarios, suggest a disregard for traditional authority and rules. Additionally, their remarks about libertarians and the left indicate a rebellious attitude against established political structures. On the good-evil axis, there are hints of controversial and potentially divisive viewpoints, especially concerning the remarks on cancel culture and a Hapa ethno-state. Probably because I literally said I'm a racist and I like the Hapa ethno-state, or whatever that one guy said.
I follow this account and he says that.
Yeah.
It's actually in there. So
while they don't outright promote harm, a few comments could be interpreted as dismissive or antagonistic towards certain groups, suggesting a lean towards selfishness or insensitivity. This combination puts them somewhere around chaotic and slightly evil. So there you go.
Yeah, I did notice you were very chaotic, but just, mildly evil.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it could be an accident. Maybe it's a translation thing. It's
friendly
all
chaos.
Yeah, it's all a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, just because I want a Hapa ethno state doesn't mean we're going to execute all the non-Hapas. You'll be deported.
Yeah. And you'll only stay if you agree to, well, this is a family-friendly show, so.
Oh. All right. Yeah, I feel like, like I'm not against the Hapa ethno state personally, but I do have questions about, like, is there going to be like state enforced breeding procedures, or how's?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably then why you're a little bit down there on the on the evil scale.
Hell yeah.
I don't have any. See, I don't have all that. I just am.
Yeah.
It's just who I am.
That's right. That sounds about right.
What can you do?
All right. Are you ready for the main event, Thomas? Thomas Massie, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Wait, I'm not Thomas Massie.
Are you sure?
I mean, I wish I was living in an off-the-grid house that I built with a supercomputer and all that stuff. But yeah, sure. I wish I had a degree from MIT.
Well, let me just first off start with that some of the reactions have been funny to me. They've been hilarious. This one in particular, I think, takes the cake. So I'm probably destroying my own show here with showing like the best one that I've seen. But this person said Thomas Massie received 278,386 votes in the last election. Donald Trump received 77,303,573 votes in the last election. End of story. I'll let that simmer for a little bit.
End of what story? What? I don't know what book we were reading.
Well, the best part is they actually have a book.
Yeah, they got community noted.
Trump ran in a national election. Massey ran in a local election for Kentucky's 4th Congressional District. In Kentucky's 4th Congressional District, Massey, 278,386, received more votes than Trump, 250,916.
Ooh, that's actually pretty damning, to be honest.
Good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that MAGA resource account right there, that's an incredible cell phone, actually. I wouldn't have known that unless someone had dug up that data. Obviously I know Trump is going to win a state like Kentucky easily.
Right.
We know that Massey's winning his primaries and stuff easily. But I guess if you had asked, if you had said, hey, do you think that Massey had a higher percentage of the vote than like Trump did in the presidential? I probably would say, yeah, just because, it's like we know that he's, like you think about it, like even in some, at least some red states, like if generally half the population is just going to vote right wing and generally half the population is just going to vote left wing, and every election just comes down to like the middle 15 million swing voters, then there's probably a lot of places where one side could win easily, but there's still going to be 30% or something that'll vote for the other side. You still won easily, 60-30 is a big win, but still there's 20-30%. Massey's actually winning by a higher percentage than that, which is also why primarying him is laughable.
Right.
It would be one thing to primary somebody who in the primary he wins like 55-45, but then in the general he wins easily because he's a Republican and it's a red district. But that's not the case. He easily wins the primary and then easily wins the general because it's a red district. But yeah, the fact that he actually got more votes, not in percentage, but in real terms. So of the actual residents of that district, more of them voted for Massey than Trump. Even though also you figure a lot of people just vote in the presidential election. A lot of people vote once every 4 years and they don't give a damn about other elections. Like, let's be real. A lot of people. So even though he's running in a race that in like nationwide, less people vote in their congressional races than in the presidential race, he's still got more votes in real terms. That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's almost like he's really fucking popular.
Yeah. So I don't know what Trump is. People. Okay, so here's another one that I wanted to share that I think is pretty funny. This is from now. To be fair, it does say parody account.
Yeah, it says that, but yeah.
So, okay. From Drift Fans or Memes, they say, I don't get it. Massey cries about everything and never has a solution. The people that love him are DeSantis supporters and people that have a boner for Palestine. Other people seem to jump on that train because some influencers, they go along with it. Wake the fuck up. I voted for Trump. He continues in another tweet under this. I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for some jackass that has been rallying against Trump since his first election in 2016.
All right. So first of all, that's how you know to block that account. That account's paid for. Like it's been bought. That's how you can tell. Like, oh, it's a parody account. Oh, but all of a sudden when it's, when your handler calls and says, look, what are we fucking paying you for? You need to post about this. So that's how you know that account's bullshit. You can block it, no problem. Second of all, he's been rallying against Trump since his first election, because I remember when all the Russiagate shit was going down, the Republicans are running to the fucking hills. Remember all the Never Trumpers and all the, the Grahams and the McConnells and all those people, saying that, Trump should be impeached, Trump should be censured, all that stuff. Actually, Massey was one of the few that staked himself on it, saying that no, this is all BS. This, this isn't helping. This is all just, you want to talk about grandstanding. All of that was grandstanding, and Massey sided with Trump. But of course, we live in a what have you done for me lately world. But then again, if it's just a funny, random, like side analogy. A lot of people are like anti-vaccine. A lot of right-wingers are like, yeah, I'm unvaxxed, miss me with your vaccine stuff. Well, Trump to this day still brags about Operation Warp Speed and claiming that it like saved 100 million lives and whatever bullshit he says. To this day, he still says that. So you people yourself, like the cognitive dissonance to like be hardcore on one side of an issue, even though Trump's actually hardcore on the other side of that same issue. But then when it comes to this issue, which is government spending and debt, which, like, I thought that's what conservatives were about, were cutting spending and Doge and getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. And you're all lining up to support Trump for more government spending. Like, that's just... It just goes to show that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as principles. There's no such thing as just, informed logical opinions. People can just seize on any side of any issue on any day of the week, depending on, what influencer they get their information from, what demagogue they listen to. Yeah. Like, you think about it. If Trump... When this exact same budget was passed in the Biden administration, I'm sure, Trump and all of Trump's people would have been like, oh, no, all the Republicans need to vote against this, and anyone who votes for it should be primaried. And then that literal same budget comes along, and they want to primary the people who are against it. These people are a fucking joke. But I'm glad you pulled that up, because that just goes to show, like, now that account is compromised for all time. You now know that account is being paid for.
All right, so here's another one that I kind of goes along with what you were saying. So this guy is pro-America politics. He said Massie doesn't know how to win. I think that's stupid right there. Like, you just stop talking right there. Like, oh,
yeah. Yeah. What was that community note we just read?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Okay. So he goes on. He knows how to grandstand. I mean, Rand Paul in the Senate also voted no, but I don't see anywhere near as much going after him. Anyway, if you want to win, you don't turn something that gives you 80%, or you don't turn down something that gives you 80% of what you want because you didn't get 100% of what you want. This is precisely why Thomas Massie has never once actually gotten anything done since he's been in Congress. Now, let me say something about that, because Thomas Massie isn't asking to, like, hey, maybe we should just like stop. Maybe we should just spend $0. It's not like he's saying that, he's not going, hey, maybe we should just like end the government together. All together, maybe we just end the whole thing. How about that? How's that sound? What do you think? Right? Yeah.
All right.
No, he's asking for like 1%.
For all time, we need to shut down this bullshit of, oh, well, someone like a Thomas Massie or someone like a Ron Paul. They never got anything passed, therefore they're not successful. It's like, okay, but that's the whole point. We don't want Congress getting together and getting the votes to pass more shit. Yeah. That's the whole point. The only things that Thomas Massie himself introduces, even when he like okay, I know that you said like he just introduced the bill again to end the Fed. And we all know it's not going to happen because the Republicans are all spineless cowards, and they don't understand it anyway. Plus, they're all bought and paid for, so they wouldn't support it regardless. But he also does introduce some bills that are not like these controversial. Oh, let's in the Department of Education. Trump himself is like, oh, I'm gonna nominate this lady, and then I'm gonna direct her to try to cut back in the department. Why even bother? Just pass Massie's fucking bill, and it's done. Boom! Yeah. You're finished. The reason why Trump is getting attacked on his executive orders is they're trying to claim that he doesn't have the authority to do it. But if the legislature passed it, he would. And the Republicans have a majority in the House and Senate. Pass Massie's bill to end the Department of Education. Boom! It's done. But even beyond that, we'll even let that one go. Take Massie's Prime Act as an example. Massie has the Prime Act, where he's all it's trying to do is just cut back on government regulation so that local farmers can process and sell their own beef to their local communities. That's it. This is a no-brainer, obvious bill that should probably be done at the state level, but the reason Massie is introducing it at the federal level is because we live in a federal supremacy world where if Kentucky passes a Kentucky State Prime Act, you'll have the fucking, FDA and USDA trying to come into Kentucky telling them, oh, no, you can't do that because we said so. Then so Massie says, okay, well, we'll just repeal it at the federal level, and then we'll leave the states alone. And that bill always gets a ton of co-sponsors. He's got something like 30 or 40 co-sponsors on the bill. And yet he's had to introduce it every year, and that also doesn't go anywhere, even with all those co-sponsors. Why? This is a no-brainer, basic red meat, pun intended for the Prime Act, basic red meat conservative bill type thing that should be easy to pass. It's got plenty of support. It's not like controversial at all. This is no major national issue. And again, you've got majorities in the House and Senate. It should be no more difficult to pass the Prime Act than it would be to just get votes for something like the CR or pin the Prime Act to one of these. You always have these omnibus bills. Throw the fucking Prime Act in there for Massie, and then Massie will be like, yes, sir, I'll vote for it now. But they don't even do that. They don't even do that.
So let me share you this one as well. So this particular tweet from this person isn't negative, but this person has been someone who's been constant, like Massie's a loser and all that stuff. So he's quoting a tweet, Brendan Dilley. He's quoting a tweet from Unusual Wales. Congressional Republicans are ramping up scrutiny of the Federal Reserve. And then he says, end the Fed. Oh, but then here's me. You know who else wants to end the Fed? Your best friend, Thomas Massie. Like you said, here's the bill that he was like, let's abolish the Federal Reserve. But he's not gonna. Oh wait, Massie said that. Okay, yeah, I like him now. He's cool. He's a cool guy. No, he's gonna be someone who, because he's been retweeting Catturd, who we'll mention. We'll show some of his gems here in a minute. He's been retweeting him and basically being on his side, and they're basically on the Trump train 100%, which is interesting because you look up some of Catturd's tweets about Ron DeSantis. Oh man, I support DeSantis 100% if he runs for president. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Donald Trump's president now, so I guess that's what we got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And that's the thing, too, is that just living in the social media age, like, it's so easy to see what people's stances are. And it's so easy to see how people's stances, radically change every 2 to 4 years based on the way the electorate is going. Which, of course, begs the question, because it's not... My comment isn't even necessarily to say that, well, if they change their stance to a good thing, isn't that good? It's like, well, yeah, but what it really goes to show is these people really don't believe in anything. They just agree with whatever's politically expedient.
Look at that guy. So again, Brendan Dilley, what a turn of events. # MAGA Chuck. And it's a picture of Chuck Schumer with the MAGA hat on, because Chuck Schumer bent the knee and voted for the CR, which is funny because people like this guy, and people who have been throwing shade at Massie are being like, hey, look at this bitch. You don't have a spine. But then they'll complain that Thomas Massie votes no because, well, it's not 100% what you want, even though he's just calling. He even says, like, what about just like 1%? We'll just start there. How about that? Nope, that's 100%. You just want the perfect. That's not even perfect. Like, what are you talking about?
It's not 100% what you want. Dude, it is 100% of what Joe Biden wanted 6 months ago.
I know. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's retarded.
What are you... Oh, my God. And you know what? Not enough people have really emphasized this whole Doge connection. Now, I know Massie and Rand Paul in particular have talked about, like, well, it's such a shame that Doge did all this work to expose all this stuff and try to cut back on contracts for, like, USAID and all this stuff. And then this CR funds all of those things to substantially the same levels, and in other ways actually expands funding on other things. And so it's all a wash, just like that. And they say, oh, don't worry, we're going to claw back X, Y, and Z money. First of all, no, you're not. Anyone who's ever followed politics for more than 5 seconds knows that's not going to happen. You just refunded everything. But second of all, it's really important to emphasize, because a lot of people don't get this. I even had one random troll commenting on one of my things about Massie saying, how can you say that it's all been so doom and gloom? Haven't you seen all the work they've been doing the last 7 months? And I was like, so first of all, seven months ago, Joe Biden was president. So first of all, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're like, but I'm going to assume that was just a typo on your part, and you mean like 7 weeks. 7 weeks, not 7 months. Yeah. And second of all, you have to understand they haven't actually accomplished anything. Now, they have exposed things that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
But Doge, Elon Musk, doesn't have the legal authority to do anything. Donald Trump has some legal authority to do some things, and even that is getting challenged in the courts every day. Like, how often do you wake up and you see in the headlines, oh, this federal judge ruled this thing that the administration just did has to be repealed, or, these people have to be rehired, or these benefits have to, or they can't defund this, or the aid has to go out for that. They're challenging them every step in the way. And I don't want to get into a whole big pissing contest of, well, is that legal? What powers do the executive have? How should they respond to all these legal challenges? Yeah. And I do have opinions on that, but that's not my point. The point is that all Doge can really do is just a day-to-day wider perspective on the type of shit Rand Paul has done every year for his Festivus thing. Remember he used to do that? It would be like, here's this long list of things that look at all this dumb shit that money's being wasted on. Yeah. That's all really Doge is doing, is just kind of pointing it out, and then if it is something that falls under an executive department, they can make a call and be like, hey, what can we do to, let's cancel these credit cards. Let's see if we can rescind this contract. So again, first of all, the CR just re-upped all of it. And second of all, it's not like Doge saved any money. Doge just identified money that could be saved. Mm. And even in the situations where Doge identified money that could be saved, and then they said, oh, well, we're not going to, here's $1 billion being spent on, trans rights in Saudi Arabia. Well, we're not going to do that. Based on the way that congressional spending works, the money's spent. So they actually have to allocate the $1 billion in this scenario I'm giving you. They can choose to allocate it somewhere else, but they still have to allocate it. Well, if they still spend the money, even if it's not on that one retarded boondoggle, if they still spend it on something else, then you actually saved $0 because you still spent the money. I thought the whole point was to save money. It kind of goes back to, remember that whole thing they were talking about, the Doge dividends of paying people money? You want to know the two biggest reasons why that never happened? So first of all, it's fuck you. That's why. That's one reason. Second of all is Doge has not saved any money. They've identified waste that could be saved. They haven't saved a penny. So that's another reason why you didn't get a refund check before tax season. And the last thing is, damn it. And the last thing is that if you were going to try to identify $2 trillion of waste to remove from the budget, from the annual budget, so that therefore we could go back to solvency, but then you turn around and spend $2 trillion on checks, then you didn't save $2 trillion. You just spent it here as opposed to spending it here. Now, would I rather be given a check than them giving it to, fucking pixies in Madagascar. Sure, if you're going to write the check to somebody, you might as well write it to me and not them. But that's not going to cure inflation. That's not going to lower the national debt. That's not going to deal with the servicing the interest on the debt. That's not going to make a balanced budget. That makes the exact same budget we have now and the exact same rate of debt and inflation we have now, just spending it in more creative ways. But even with all that to say, the CR doesn't do any of that. The CR doesn't not only does it spend the money, it doesn't even spend the money in different ways. It's a continuing resolution. It's literally Joe Biden's budget. Full stop. It's weird to me that so many people don't get it. I know that these people get it. The grifters get it.
Yeah.
They're paid to tell you the opposite.
People have been telling them that in the replies. Massey himself said it, but yeah, those continue to be like,
I mean, that's why I have all these people blocked on my Twitter, is that these people are just bought and paid for. They're shills. I know they actually get it. If they have any intelligence at all, they understand. They don't care to understand. They're paid to have an opinion, and they share what they're told to share. But it's the followers around them. It's like, I implore people. Every single one of those influencers you saw walking out of the fucking White House a week ago with a fucking binder that had nothing in it, you should have already blocked every single one of them. They are liars for all time. That's it.
Libs of TikTok. Come on.
Drano. I hate even calling her Libs of TikTok. She's that Chaya Rachik. She's a fucking Jew. Just call her what she is. She's not Libs of TikTok anymore. That bubble has burst. She is an Israel shill.
Follow Libs of Blue Sky instead. I swear, if that person ends up being another Chaya Rachik, I swear to.
It could be. It wouldn't be surprising.
If you're, it lives a fucking Blue Sky. If you're a fucking. If you're another one of those, I swear to God,
it could be.
I literally was like, "Hey, go follow that person instead," and I find out he's another one of those. You piece of mother of. All right. Anyway, okay. Here's another one that I wanted to share with you. So we know this. Thomas Massie issued a new statement on President Trump's calls to primary him out of office in 2026. Quote, POTUS is spending his day attacking me in Canada. The difference is Canada will eventually cave, unquote. That's what Thomas Massie said.
Mm-hmm.
This person, based Godzilla, very based, he said, said, Thomas Massie is literally Bernie Sanders, a contrarian grifter on the fringe end of his party who is proud to have embedded himself into a lifelong seat, which will make him rich, but who will not actually accomplish anything. Zero difference between them. So, Alan, Thomas Massie and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Thomas Massie's a Marxist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a socialist. Yeah. He's a socialist that the heavy conservative 4th District of Kentucky keeps voting in. It's so weird that they would do that. And he also got rich by being a congressman in Kentucky and not being like a super genius MIT engineer who founded a software company and like sold it for like millions. That's not how he got rich. No, he got rich by being Kentucky's 4th District congressman. These people can't even fathom the level that Thomas Massie is on, both in terms of like his actual conservative cred, but also just sheer intelligence and success. They can't even fathom it. You're right. I mean, you're right about the Bernie Sanders part. He's just a lifelong bureaucrat. Thomas Massie didn't even get into politics until like a decade ago.
I don't have it here because it'll take me forever to find it, but I've seen some people go, this is why we need term limits, because of guys like Thomas Massie.
By the way, I just, you can see in the relevant people over there that based Godzilla person's profile is on the side. You notice it's got an Israeli flag in the.
Oh yeah.
So Israeli flag immediately ignored, deported.
Yeah.
Israeli flag deported.
Well,
Bye.
not according to that one group.
Israeli flag, opinion discarded. So,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Well, here's another one, and it's the guy that we've is in the title of the episode, actually, Catturd. He said President Trump is going to be remembered 200 years from now as the greatest president in U.S. history. I've already forgotten about that grandstanding congressman who didn't accomplish shit and never will. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are changing the world right now. If this tweet turns you into an emotional liberal whiner, you should look within. So, Alan, you should look within because you're just whining.
According to this guy, he's already forgotten about the person that he's describing. Yeah, he's already forgotten about that person.
Oh, but also after this tweet, he tweeted about him two subsequent times after that. So clearly he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know what the.
No, again, no. Give him credit. He knows exactly. He's paid to do this.
Sure.
Again,
yeah.
all of these people should be on block. I don't see any of these things because they're all blocked because I block paid feds.
I'm sure
that's what I do.
People, yeah.
Yeah, I block paid feds. They should be executed. Them being blocked is being nice.
The turd you can't flush.
And also, I mean, Massie was a congressman before Trump came along, and Massie's going to still be in Congress after this administration's over. So,
actually, Alan, if
he's going
to
be primary him
because Donald Trump said, "Oh, I'm going to primary you so fucking hard." Hey, who's with me? Who wants any takers? Who wants to get? There was actually a guy, Chris La Sevilla, whatever his name is. He was basically saying out, because he and Thomas Massie were going at it a little bit. Because Thomas Massie said, well, last few times that Donald Trump tried to do the same thing, guess what happened? I won. And the guy was like, well, you've never faced me. Uh-oh. You better watch out, Thomas. You better watch out. That guy's coming for you.
Well, Tom Woods had pointed out something that if Trump's ego will not allow him to be regretful, remorseful, or just accepting of his own mistakes, which all of this is a mistake. But what he had pointed out is that back in the old days, Newt Gingrich, who was the Republican leader for a while, he actually had what they called a Ron Paul exception. And what that was just basically to say, what the whip is, right? The whip is the person who goes out and whips up the votes for whatever the party leadership says we're gonna. It's literal. It's not metaphor. It's literal. But the whip is the person who goes out and whips the votes for whatever the party leadership is pushing. They had a Ron Paul exception, meaning that there was really no point with going to Ron Paul and saying and threatening him. There's no point in threatening him because he's not going to cave and you're not going to primary him. But there's also no point in trying to buy him off because he's not. You can't. He's unimpeachable. And so it was better for Gingrich to just accept that, well, we're going to have a Ron Paul exception. We're not going to waste time and energy yelling to CNN about how much this Ron Paul, he sucks. You guys should print that in the paper tomorrow, because it's just pointless. You're just wasting. And because he's going to win. He'll still be in fucking Congress tomorrow and we'll be the ones out. Yeah. That's what the current leadership needs to do with Massie, is they just need to accept that, look, this guy can't be bought. He can't be threatened. And so, God forbid you look within. If you're disagreeing with Thomas Massie, you have fallen off somehow. You need to be doing some introspection. But you're not going to win. It's just the game. You're not going to beat him. You can't beat him. So what are you going to do? Might as well just get over it.
So here's what I was talking about earlier. So he said, I'm not voting for the CR. And then Chris LaCavita said, TikTok, Tommy.
Yeah, what a joke.
And then Thomas Massie said, someone thinks they can control my voting card by threatening my re-election. Guess what? Doesn't work on me. 3 times I've had a challenger who tried to be more MAGA than me. None busted 25% because my constituents prefer transparency and principles over blind allegiance. Well,
I've said it. Yeah, I'm glad that he said in his own words, trying to be more MAGA than me. I'm so glad that he said that, because that's I've said it before. I'll say it again. The reason why all of those people hate Thomas Massie so much is because he actually is what they pretend to be and fail.
Well, I like how it just like didn't even go to the thing that I wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
That's a happy pick. Yeah, good job, Elon.
Yeah.
Is that
All right.
one of the kids he's like actually taking care of, or what?
Yeah, I believe so. So then Chris comes back with "Never faced me." ... Stand
Yeah.
by. Oh, look, Pete with a nice reply. Will you be proudly posting how much you'll be taking from a foreign power to do so?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Exactly. Just that one thing. If you go to the 4th district of fucking Kentucky and say, look, guys, I have a war chest of like $50 million. I'm here to, I'm in it to win it. That just needs to be on a billboard. You lose. That's it. You lost.
Well, I did see some people who are trying to go back with that be like, oh yeah? Well, you know who Thomas Massie's biggest donor is? Do you know who it is? Do you know? Oh, I got you now. You got nothing. And it's like, okay, so who cares? Like, yeah, I looked them up. Whatever. It's not AIPAC.
No,
Like,
it's not. It's not any foreign lobby.
Yeah, right.
AIPAC obviously gets a lot of heat. I mean, there's the AIPAC tracker, and I get that, and it gets a lot of heat because of all the shit. But the reason why that's such a big deal too is that they're not forced to register as a foreign lobby.
Yeah.
You can't even begin to fathom how much money Israel and its allies give to these politicians because it's not tracked. AIPAC is tracked, but there's lots of money coming from lots of different directions. We can't even begin to know. And lots of other foreign lobbies as well. You think about it. Who was that one guy that got caught with the Chinese spy Feng Feng? What's that dude's name? Yeah, Swalwell. Yeah. Like, look at how much shit he's gotten, and rightfully so, especially mostly from the Republicans, obviously, because the Democrats will see no evil in their own people. Because, well, look, he's associating with this, this foreign asset, and what secrets has he sold? What money has he taken? Whatever. It's like the people saying that themselves have taken thousands and thousands of dollars from a foreign asset.
Yeah.
It's just like, how can you not see that? It's mind blowing. But China man bad, so it's
China man bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the funny thing too was that so Tada Gopian, he said when this was all kind of going down, he said, I'm looking at his tweet right now, can't wait to hear libertarians defend Trump, saying Massie should be knocked out of Congress.
You'll be surprised to know that I have that person muted too.
Oh wait, wait, really?
Yeah,
you're joking, right?
I know you're super shocked to hear that. I mean, so first of all, there's no such thing as libertarians. There's no such thing. That's like me saying, "Oh yeah, well I can't wait to hear the blacks defend this." Boom, racist piece of shit. You can't just sum everybody up into one identity like that. They're not all George Floyd, or whatever. Like, yeah, you're right. You can't. So why are you waiting for the libertarians to do anything? Who are you even talking about? Jesus, these fucking people.
So there was another thing that happened too, where Louisiana GOP Senator, this is from the Calvin Coolidge Project, Louisiana GOP Senator Bill Cassidy is the reason the White House withdrew Dr. David Weldon's nomination as CDC director before the confirmation hearing. The reason he was withdrawn is because Cassidy wouldn't vote for him out of committee. Should Cassidy be primaried out?
Yeah. In fact, if you were you would think, in my opinion, you would think that the people who were like never Trump extends to never appointments. You'd actually, because that's fresh, that's real, that's like happened in this administration. They're obstructionist, right? Like you're, we're 7 weeks in and you're still trying to get some of your people confirmed. Like those people should be primary. Yeah, and of course, imagine fucking that. It's crazy. It's just every single time. It's just,
Yeah. Man, $417,000. God damn, that's some good money right there. Hope he spent it wisely.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I know you can go to that fucking site and it's just so many. Mm-hmm. It's just, you look at these huge swaths of the country, all these congressional districts that were bought, and it's just, it's no secret. Like it's always been how politics is, that if a politician runs for office, no matter what their stances are on X, Y, and Z, and no matter what they promise to their constituents, they're going to have to pay the piper for who paid for their campaign. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's like, oh, the ketchup Heinz paid for my campaign, so when the big ketchup bill comes along, I'm really against this government spending, but man, I gotta vote for this ketchup bill, you guys, because Heinz paid for my campaign. It's like, I get that, but that's still, like, that's not good, but at least that's just some bullshit corporate interest. This is a foreign country. All of them are traitors. They need to all be executed. All of them. And it's bad enough that, oh, you're totally in the pocket of, whatever, the auto workers union, and you're going to vote for bailouts for like GM and Ford. That's really bad. And you shouldn't do that. And if you do that, you should be stripped of your office immediately. That's unconstitutional. But that's not as bad as this. Not even close.
All right, so one more. But this is from Tho Bishop. And he says, let me go back up here. He says, Massie's value to Trump is that he's a primary avatar for coalitions that were important in 2024. MAHA, libertarians, Bitcoiners, and general foreign policy skeptics. Trump being big mad at Massie not falling in line is predictable, but a prolonged vendetta is not priceless. He continues, Trump would have been better off with Massie in his administration, something like AgSec, where he could have empowered him at a position that was agenda aligned. As a member of Congress, he was never going to be a follower. And then someone replied to him, Mark Metz, on Massie's end, fall in line now, then run for governor with Trump's endorsement. Find yourself in a position where things can't actually be accomplished. Tho replied, that would be the dream scenario. Will probably require the House GOP to deliver an agenda that Massie could justify, though, which will ultimately be the real test of the first 2 years. If that happens, though, Massie's endorsement will have unique value.
See, none of that's going to happen. I just, if you're going to be one of these people who criticizes things as being like not worthwhile to discuss because they're not politically expedient or realistic, none of that's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be discussing the shoulda, woulda, couldas of what position somebody could take and what where things are agenda aligned. How about you just advance a balanced budget that cuts spending by 20%, and you tell everyone if you don't vote for this, we'll just, I don't know, put a fucking bullet in your head. How about you just do that? How about you just cut spending? How about instead of us arguing, because it all boils down to fall in line. So first of all, fall in line, and then we'll do it 6 months from now. But let's break that down. The first part is fall in line. That's what it really comes down to, is fall in line. If you're going to threaten everybody and tell them you must fall in line, then why didn't you threaten everybody and tell them to fall in line for a budget that cuts spending by 20%? If this is how easy it is, if all you have to do is threaten everyone and tell them to fall in line or else, then you could have passed a balanced budget this week and just tell everyone to vote for it or else fall in line. But that was never even discussed. But Massie's greater point being that they're selling this as you pass this now and then we'll fight in September. In September, you're going to have less political clout than you have now. And by the time the midterms get here, by the way, you're going to have less Republicans in the House and Senate. Mark my fucking words. And this isn't like a huge prediction on my part. This is pretty much political status quo. The midterms are almost always bad for the incumbent party. So when Trump, because you think about it, you're like, well, why would it be? You know, if all of these people are yelling at Massie and telling him to fall in line, then wouldn't all those people still support Trump? Not necessarily, because after another like year and a half of, you know, those prices at the grocery store still being high and these wars still going on, and, you know, if anything, prices, you know, inflation's still going up, spending is still going up. Elon has already said, well, I think my work here is done, and you didn't cut a single cent. When that day comes, a lot of people are going to say, well, you promised these things and then you didn't do it. Therefore, I'm not going to vote for your endorsed candidates, you know, next year. And then boom, and then vice versa. The Democrats are going to be like, we got to push, we got to take Congress. Trump's going to be in office another couple of years. We got to take Congress. Get ready for 2028. The Republicans are only going to be weaker because of all of this. And it has nothing to do with Massie not playing ball. It has everything to do with the Republicans being big government fucking sellouts. They will be worse off in a weaker political position 6 months from now, and a year from now, and 18 months from now. Absolutely, they will be.
Well, I mean, according to this, promises made, promises kept. Trump's accomplishments so far. This is from a Fox News. Someone took a picture of this. Inflation down. Gas below $3 a gallon. Well, depending on where you're at, I guess. Egg prices falling. Again, probably depends on where you're at. Border encounters plunge. Mm-hmm. Mortgage rates decline. This is the best one right here, the last one. Mm-hmm. Possible peace deal.
Yeah, possible peace deal. Yeah.
A possible. It hasn't happened yet, but hey, it's a possibility. It's like, oh shit, the North Korea and South Korea, and they could, be friendly for once. Hey, that's a possibility. Hey, remember when Donald Trump and Kim Jong-il, whatever the fuck his name is, when they went over the little thing? Oh, hey, let me step over. Oh, wow, I'm in North Korea. Wow, that's pretty cool. Remember that whole thing? I was like, oh shit. I was one of those people. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I like this. This is nice. But a possible peace deal? What? I saw that. I was thinking.
Well, okay, yeah, but, perfect example right there. Yeah, possible peace deal, except for literally, like, just in the last week, the United States started funding Ukraine again and rearming Ukraine again and giving them intel again. The American people said loud and clear in the last election, zero, not another cent. Remember that? Remember all the Ukrainian flags with not another cent? The voters said not another cent for Ukraine. Trump has given another cent to Ukraine. I'm not going to sit here and debate with you how much it is and he suspended it for a week and then he started it again on the predicated with maybe we have a ceasefire. I don't give a fuck what your reasoning is. The people said not another cent, and then Trump gave them another cent. Therefore, his political position has now weakened. Period. That is totally not debatable. It is an abject fact. So again, circling that back to Massie. Massie's point is the election was the war, and you won. Now is the time to do everything we promised. September is not the time. Right now is the time. It's like, well, we got to win the war first. The war was the fucking election. You won. You won. You have everything. You have every branch. What are you doing?
You're gonna make me choke on my drink.
Dude,
Well, didn't he say that too in that video? He said that in the video that he posted on his Twitter account, where he basically said, "Yeah, we're gonna kick the a couple years ago, we're gonna kick the can here. Then last year, we're gonna kick the can to this tier, and then we'll do it this time. And then now it's the March time that they said we're gonna kick it down to, and now they say, oh yeah, we're gonna kick it down to September. What's to stop them from going? Okay, it's September. We'll wait until April. How about that? How's that sound? Something like that. What's to stop them from doing that? Nothing.
Well, again, as Massie put time and time again, he in his words, he say, "Look, I've been here 12 years. Every single time they have one of these budget estimates, like the Congressional Budget Office is forecasting, where the debt's going to be, where inflation's going to be, where rates are going to be, is there going to be a recession, yes or no? They always guesstimate things with the absolute rosiest possible assumptions. And it still turns out it's still bad, and we still add trillions of dollars to the deficit. And B, those rosy assumptions don't even happen. It's never that good. We do have economic downturns. Rates tend to go up, all these other things. And so you might remember in the budget conversations right before this CR, there was a video that had Massie in it where they asked him, so what are you on this bill? He said, I'm a no. I'm a no after this meeting. I just got out of a meeting with the Republican brass, and I'm a no. They convinced me. He said I was a lean no before this meeting. They convinced me to be a no.
Yeah.
He said, look at their own talking points. The Republican leadership is saying, well, look, yeah, we're gonna add a couple $1 trillion to the deficit. It's like, what?
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about? This isn't Democrat propaganda. This is their own numbers.
Yeah, so all the people that are going out there, the examples that I've shown, though Bishop was kind of saying, well, if Donald Trump wanted a primary, if that was really what he wanted to do, get him out of the Congress, whatever, put him in your administration. If you really want him to do that, then you should have done that. But you can't. Now you can't. So good luck trying to primary the fucker.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, yeah. So first of all, now you can't. Second of all, I remember when people were discussing that, and Massie himself spoke out and said, I would theoretically be interested in a position like that, but I haven't been offered that. Just to put the rumors aside. Yeah. From Trump's mind, because again, Trump's not that smart. People get the fuck over this 4D chess bullshit. He's not that smart.
4D chess, hell yeah.
In Trump's front, as far as Trump is concerned, being a member of his admin is like a greater honor than just being some silly congressman. So Trump would never agree to that because he wouldn't want to give Massie something, because Trump is so short-sighted that he doesn't see that, well, actually, you're getting Massie out of that seat. Although, to be fair, it's not that Massie couldn't theoretically run for that seat again in a couple of years and probably win.
Well, also, I mean, just how this is going, where he's posting about him a few times and saying he wants to primary him, and then all the examples that I've shown where people are complaining, like they're basically acting like this came out of nowhere. Because you just mentioned that Massie had said that he's a no, like a couple of weeks ago or so, before all this was going on, before all the people were starting to piss on him and say, "Oh, Thomas Massie needs to be primaried. He's just a grandstander. He doesn't do anything." And it's just, I don't even know what I was going to say. That I lost my train of thought, but
well, at this point, what people should be, the anti-Massie people at this point should just totally get off of the primary and things. That's going to happen. At this point, you need to be thinking about not letting him become a senator. That's what you need to be thinking now.
I knew what I was going to say was that if Thomas Massie did become his agriculture secretary, he probably would have been one of the first ones to go, because he's like, well, he and I had creative differences. I was along with his plan, but then as like the second year went on, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't think I can go along with this. So I felt it was best for us to separate on good terms. That's probably what would have happened. Not like a Nikki Haley type of thing or anything like that. Oh, well, actually, no, it probably would have been like something like that. Where it's, oh, fuck this. I don't like you. Fuck you. Thomas Massie didn't go along with my plan, so he thought he could do better and had some ideas. I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? That's probably what would have happened. Thomas Massie would have gone along with it the first year or so, but then after he's like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. If he did try to go for senator, and maybe get Mitch McConnell's seat. Oh man, could you imagine? Hey, guess what, Donald? I know you're trying to like push Thomas Massie. Like you're really trying to be the alpha male. Like you're really trying to alpha over Thomas Massie's alpha because they're both like going back and forth. Like, oh yeah, well I'm not gonna back down. And Donald Trump's like, oh yeah, well how about this? Massie goes, oh well, fuck you, blah 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 blah, and. I mean, who was the last person to say anything about the other guy? Like Thomas Massie, I think, said something. But we'll see. Look, I was right. Has Donald Trump posted anything about Thomas Massie since as of right now?
Not really. No.
Yeah, maybe Donald Trump's like, oh, maybe I'm trying to like push him, and he's not being pushed as much as I thought he would.
Well, for one, I mean, again, like. Surely, so first of all, Trump is impulsive. He's an emo bitch little girl, so he just says and does things. I'm sure somebody in his circle has said, "Sir, I'm sorry, I don't think we're going to be able to actually primary Mr. Massie."
Because if say Thomas Massie did change his vote and he did say yes, the same people who are calling out Chuck Schumer for being like, oh, look at this bitch. Ah, that's right. Yeah. Get on your knees, motherfucker. That's right. You get in line. They would have done the same thing to Massie. They would have been like, yeah, that's right, you motherfucker. That's right. You better vote yes, because next time you don't vote yes, we're going to fucking kill you. Or something crazy. Because everybody was crazy about this.
So what I would say to kind of wrap all of whatever this is. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
So what I would say... To wrap, let's bring it down. Let's get our blood pressures. What I would say to wrap this up is, I don't really care what the Trump cultists think, because in the same way that I was just saying that, like, who's the libertarians? You can't speak for a group of people. Yeah. I don't think MAGA and Maha are not all just one dude with a single. Borg opinion. There's different people. There's lots of MAGA people that are very pro-Massie, as the world has discovered in the last few days.
Plenty of people big names too. Big names.
But the people who are just exclusively Trump humpers, I really don't care. And you know why I don't care? It's because he's a lame duck. He's gone in a few years. Never see him again. Look, for one, how old's Trump going to be when his term ends? That's the first question. He's going to be around the age that fucking Biden is, right? So he's going to be old. He's out of here.
Yeah.
He's heading to the great Mar-a-Lago in the sky before you know it.
Nice.
But he won't be in politics anymore. And I don't think that he's the kind of person who's just going to hang around. He's going to be the kind of person that when he's out of office, he'll still fucking tweet. Yeah. But he ain't going to no fucking political strategy meetings.
Oh wait,
this dude's moving on with his fucking life.
Yeah, he's gonna go help campaign for the guy who's gonna go against Massie in Kentucky's congressional 4th district. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna do.
Yeah, and I'm talking about after he's not president anymore.
Well, sure.
So, like, do you think that Trump at age 84 in 2030 is doing any of this shit? No. Just like Elon. No. He's going to be moving on with his fucking life.
Well, he already did the thing with Donald Trump with the Tesla. With that whole thing with Tesla. Oh, man. Everything is computer.
So the point I'm making is that I don't think any of that stuff survives post-Trump. We don't know if, is Vance going to be like the heir apparent? If he is, I already feel like he's not exactly like Trump. I mean, I think that he's been very engaged as vice presidents go, but he also kind of picks his battles. He's certainly a lot more eloquent than fucking Donald Trump is. There's no doubt about that.
He has his moments for sure, though, yeah.
But I think that the Trump cultists will not automatically back anyone. They're backing Trump because he's Trump. If
Right.
Trump says, Shane, you're the new Trump, I don't think you get half of those votes. And it's not me making a comment on you. It's that they're in it for Trump, and when
a
Trump's
comment
gone,
on
they'll
me.
be gone.
Yeah, it's a comment on me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, well, you're a foreigner. You can't. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not white enough for some.
Yeah.
And others,
I don't
I'm
know.
not.
I don't know. Where's your
enough.
birth certificate, motherfucker? Let's see it. I don't know.
Where I might have lost it actually.
There you go. It's fucking bullshit. All right. So anyway, the point I'm making is that we don't know exactly what the landscape's going to look like in another few years, but Trump's not going to be in it. Trump's going to be gone. Now, MAGA as some kind of political movement may still be around, but it won't be Trump influenced. It'll be something else.
Yeah.
But Massie probably will still be around. So, yeah, oh shoot, he's still around.
Shit.
So, imagine a scenario. Imagine, if you will, a scenario where Massie winds up in the Senate, and you have Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, both from Kentucky, in the
Moving to
Senate.
Kentucky. Let's go. You hear that? Moving to Kentucky.
And a situation where the Republicans lose some Senate seats because of this bullshit, because they can't stop spending and they can't stop doing anything right. And so they lose some seats. If the Republicans, if it's basically a 50-50 in the Senate, then 2 Republicans could filibuster that shit all day. Either side, Democrats or Republicans, would be at their feet saying, please, guys, what do we have to do to get you on board? That would be a hell of a... Rand Paul has tried, but he's only one.
Yeah.
Let's double that number. Let's give him Massie.
All right, my shift is over, Thomas. I'll go sleep. You do your 12 hours, and then after 12 hours, I'll come back. All right, let's do it.
Dude, it's fucking over.
Can you imagine?
It's fucking over. It's fucking over. Dude,
And I think it's somehow even possibly get 3. Oh, even better.
Let's get Massie in the Senate first, and then like in 28 or 32, let's get like Massie running for president. Part of me wants Massie to run for president, not because I think he would win. I think it would be similar to Ron Paul, where if he had any chance to win, they would just steal it from him.
Yeah.
But just because, man, I want to live those days again. Like, I'm old enough. I was in deep into the Ron Paul 2008 and then 2012. I want to bring it back. Let's run it back. Let's do it.
Circle back.
Yeah. Well, I said run it back. People who say circle back defend, child predators. But
Oh, well.
yeah. Somebody, on a totally random note, before you click the button, somebody shared a meme with me earlier today, and in the meme it said the phrase "love is love," and I responded to them. I was like, "Love is love" is like a pedophile dog whistle, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Dog whistle. My goodness.
Yeah. If we're gonna talk about dog whistles, dude, "love is love" is like a dog. It's like an Epstein dog whistle.
Well, on that note, It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Where can they find your show? Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
It is right there at YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, wherever. You just go to @AlanMosleyTV. Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time. This week's show was a fucking banger. We've already got an awesome guest for next week. We've already got an awesome guest for the week after that. No, it's
not me.
No, it's not you. No. You guys are coming back whenever this bullshit Squid Game comes back.
Yeah, our
What was that,
episode got
June?
completely destroyed.
Well, if it's ask the Rothschilds. Why did the Rothschilds want to ruin y'all's episode?
I was saying some bad stuff. I was saying some things about your favorite character there that you're like, I can't take this.
Yeah, we're running it back when we get the finale of Squid Game. So,
yeah.
Was that June? Is that when that is?
I think so. Yeah.
So, but until then, we got guests lined up. The live event coming up to you Saturday, May 17th. It's gonna be a banger.
Hey, there you go. I can review some of my mother-in-law's favorite Korean soap operas. Well, send them my way. We'll watch them. We'll do that. I'm sure we'll get lots and lots of support for that.
So first of all, no. And second of all,
you want to be my
Shane,
guest?
Can you speak Korean?
No, I can't.
Well, I can speak English. Why can't you speak Korean? That's when you're supposed to say, well, can you speak German?
Can you speak German?
No. No, 'cause this is America.
Jeez.
Speak American.
Yeah, we've been speaking German if we lost World War II. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. 안녕히계세요. That's right. 안녕하세요. Congratulations. You said hello.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what they said when they were flying the planes at the buildings on 9/11.
You know a Korean word for real? I know a Korean
What?
word for real. You know what it is? Niga. You know what that is? You know what that is in Korean?
Oh, God.
Niga.
Yeah. Yeah, you. Yeah, I know that word too. Yeah.
No,
right.
no, it's yeah. It's
Yeah.
niga. That you.
You.
Yeah, you.
I mean, I know a little bit of Japanese, but I don't share it because then that'll trigger you as a Korean. You'd be really upset. So.
All right, this show's officially over.
We've already moved on to the after party. This is it.
We're moved on. Bye, everybody. I hope you have a good night, morning, whenever you listen to this.